right, guys, it's Friday, and I am virtually here today with you. Okay, so how cute is that kitty? All right, so this is the handout we're going to start with. So if you don't have this, it is in your folders at your table. So get one. If you got one yesterday, you need to get it out of your math folder and get ready. We can pause the video for just a second for you to get what you need in front of you, but you have about 30 seconds to a minute to have this ready to go, okay? All right, welcome back. So here we go. We're going to go through this whole handout, and then that'll be this video, and then there'll be a video for each handout. And then I will get all of these videos uploaded to Google Classroom for you next week. So that will be there. As we write these expressions, some of this may sound a little new to some of you, but we're going to continue to practice this over the next week and a half or so, and everything will work itself out. But don't let things mess you up. Some of you haven't done a lot with the subtraction, but that's okay. We're going to just bear with me, okay? So what is the change in temperature? The thing that I need you to know about this particular problem, and anytime you see the word change, is that change means distance. Change is distance. Anytime we're working with distance or we're working with change, we are going to have a subtraction or a minus in the middle of our expression. So our expression will be a term, a minus sign, and another term, okay? The other problems that we've worked so far up to this point, on most of them have had plus signs there. But when you see the word change, you're going to put this minus sign in the middle anytime the word change is there. This particular question doesn't necessarily apply to all of these problems, because the word change is not going to be relevant with all of them. But I'm going to show you what I mean when we get to each one. A customer in a grocery store experienced, and I've told those of you that did this problem with me yesterday, this wording is weird. I don't know why it says this, but basically what this problem is saying is a customer's in the grocery store. She walks from the chilled vegetables section, which is 4 degrees Celsius, to the frozen fish section, which is negative 18 degrees Celsius. And it wants to know what is the change in the temperature. And change means distance, and distance is distance from 0. So I want to draw a little visual for you, just so, because when all else fails on some of these, you can draw a picture and still be able to get to where you need to be. Unless it asks you to actually write the expression and write out the math problem, I don't care how you get to the answer. You can get there with a picture. You can get there with the actual math problem. So we're going to do a picture first. So here we are. And we're going from, here's 0. This is going to be like our little thermometer, our vertical number line. We are at 4 degrees Celsius right here. So this is 4 degrees Celsius. She's walking to the fish section, which is at negative 18 degrees Celsius. Of course, it's not drawn to scale, but I just want you to see visually that we're going from 4 degrees to negative 18 degrees. What this question is asking you is, what is the distance between these two numbers? What is the change in the temperature? So what is the distance between these two numbers? Okay? So that's what we're looking for. And when we get through and we write the problem, the math problem, and look at how that's done, I'm going to come back to this and show you how you can actually do it right here too. All right, so 4 degrees and we're going to a negative 18 degrees. And because it wants to know the change in the temperature, we've got to put a minus sign right there. Okay? At this point, because we don't have to, we do have a calculator. I'm not gonna say we don't have to know our integer rules, because we do. You know how I feel about that. But you have a calculator now. And when we get to these, we're gonna do them on the calculator. We're gonna write the problem and then do it on the calculator. Okay? We're gonna write the problem and then do it on the calculator. So what do we have right here? We've got 4 minus negative 18. So we're going to put that in the calculator just like it is on there. 4 minus, the minus sign's right here. The negative sign is going to be down here up under the number 3. So 4 minus negative 18. Now, if you notice on my calculator, I didn't put the parentheses in. You can put these parentheses right here around your 18, but you don't have to. Because if you hit enter, you get a positive 22. Okay? 4 minus the negative 18 is going to equal a positive 22. Okay? Now, some of you are going, wait a minute, how in the world is that going to be a positive 22? Well, I am going to talk you through what it looks like with the rule, just so you know how that rule applies. If you remember the other day, we talked about when anytime you have a subtraction sign right here, when you have that subtraction sign, you have to change it to addition. We cannot do anything on paper. If you don't have the calculator, we can't do anything on paper until we change it to addition. So we're going to take that 4, we're going to do our KCO. We're going to keep the first term, change, again, change means minus, change that to a plus, and this becomes the opposite, which is going to be a positive 18, which then you can see that 4 plus 18 is a positive 22. Okay? So there's that one. There's the math. But again, write the expression, put it in the calculator. This is just, sometimes you look at that and you think, there's no way you're going to get a positive number out of that. But you actually do, because if you think in terms of when I was telling you about combining, the minus sign right here also means the opposite of. So if you think in terms of combining, we're going to combine positive 4 with the opposite of negative 18. The minus sign also means opposite of, and I need you to kind of go ahead and put that in your head, because when we get to division and multiplication, that's going to be very dominant in division and multiplication, that minus means opposite of. So this is 4 being combined with the opposite of negative 18. So we've got 4 being combined with the opposite of negative 18, which is a positive 18. So that's what that means. If we come back over here and look at our picture, another way to do this, and you draw me a picture, you show me something like this, you show me your thinking, as long as the question's not asking you to write this, I don't care if you use a picture. A lot of times you'll see me doing this just because it makes more sense sometimes. 4, we want to know this whole distance right here. Well, let's look at it in terms of 0. From 4 to 0 is 4 places, right? Distance is always going to be positive because we're actually looking at the absolute value. This pen's not doing what I want it to do. I got to get me some more erasable pens. 4, from 4 to 0 is 4 places. From 4 to 0 is 4, my thumb's in the way. From 4 to 0 is 4 places. From a negative 18 to 0 is 18 places. We're just talking basic distance. Distance is absolute value. So from here to here is 18 places. From here to here is 18 places. When you put that together, you get 22. So no matter how you look at it, you're going to get that 22. Okay? But just keep in mind that change means minus. Change is also going to be distance. So the distance from here to here. All right? So let's So now pause this, get the work, get what you need on your paper, try the next question, and then start the video back up whenever you're ready. All right, welcome back. How'd you do? Not that I can hear you or anything, but you don't have to yell at me. So let's do this next one. At sunrise, the outside temperature was 1 degree below zero. By lunchtime, the temperature rose 17 degrees and then fell 4 degrees by night. What was the temperature at the end of the day? This question is not asking you for the change. This question is not asking you to tell how far it is from 1 degree to 17 degrees to 4 degrees. This is just asking you, if it does all of that movement, where does it land? So we're not doing change here. We're not finding change. We're not finding the change on this one. Okay? We're not finding the change on this one. We're just going to find out what the temperature is. So this one, we're not finding the change. So we're going to be using our plus sign. So let's look at what we've got. -1 degree below. The word below right here is our key word for letting me know that that's going to be a -1. And it rose 17 degrees. Rose is the key word to tell me that is a positive 17. And it fell 4 degrees. So now we've got a -4. When you get to that point, you need to put it in your calculator. So we've got -1 plus 17 plus -4. I got to turn my calculator on. -1 plus 17 plus -4 is a positive 12. So it's going to be positive 12 degrees at the end of the day. Not asking you for change here. So, here we go. You park in a garage three floors below ground level. Then you get in the elevator and you go up 12 floors. What floor do you get off the elevator? How do you represent 3 floors below ground level? Okay? 3 floors below ground level. Well, let's answer that first because we're going to need it. 3 floors below ground level would be represented with a -3 because below ground level is going to be 0. So if you think about it like this, here's ground level, which is 0. We are going 1, 2, 3 floors below. We're 3 floors below ground level. We get on the elevator and we're gonna go up 12 floors. We're not going to the 12th floor. We're going up 12 floors. Again, this problem is not asking you for the change. This is not finding F-I-N-D. We are not finding the change. We are just looking at the movement. We're looking at that movement on a number line. So we're going to go up 12 floors. So what do we have here? We start at -3, and we're going to go up 12. If we're going up 12, that's gonna be a positive 12. So if we're gonna take that and put it in our calculator. -3 plus 12. We're on the 9th floor. This equals a positive 9, so we are on the 9th floor. All right, so take a second pause the video and get whatever notes you need. I'm sorry my camera's shaking. I am trying to keep it focused, so I keep trying to focus it just to make sure, because sometimes they get out of focus. But pause it and come back to me when you're ready to do the next one. All right, here we go. Number 4, a research team aboard an underwater research vessel descends 1,200 feet beneath the surface of the water. Well, let's talk about this vocabulary first. Descend means to go down. Descend right here. We're going down. Okay? We're going down. They then rise 225 feet and descend again. So we're going down again 150 feet. Where are they currently located? So what is this asking us? This is asking us where they ended up. This is, again, not finding change. We're not finding change right here. We're finding movement. We're looking at their movement and determining where they ended up. Okay? We're determining the movement and where they ended up. So, let's get our integers. It descends 1,200 feet. If it's descending, it's going down, so that 1,200 is going to be negative. Negative 1,200. And it's going to rise 255 feet. So we're going up 255 feet. And we're descending again, going back down 150 feet. Which means that 150 needs to be a negative. I'm going to put the parentheses, just 150 needs to be a negative. Once you get to this point, put it in the calculator. Once you get to that point, you're going to put it in the calculator. Negative 1,200 plus 255 plus negative 150. And we get a negative 1,905 equals a negative 1,905. So it wants to know in the question, where are they currently located? Negative 1,905 doesn't necessarily tell me where they're located, because we're not going to be looking at them on a number line. So we've got to make sure we word this in words. We got to use the vocabulary needed to say negative, but say it in words that are appropriate to the problem. So what we're going to do, the way this is going to look is they are 1,095 feet below sea level. I know my hand's getting in the way a little bit, and I'm sorry, below sea level. Below sea level is what tells us that it's a negative. Below sea level is what tells us it's a negative. So negative 1,095 doesn't really answer that question until you use the right vocabulary and terminology to tell me that they're 1,095 feet below sea level. All right, one more. When Jasmine woke up, her temperature was 102. 2 hours later, it was 5 degrees lower. What was her temperature now? And again, once again, we're not finding change. We're not having to find the distance from one thing to the next. We're finding out, we want to know what was the temperature. So her temperature was 102. And it went down 5 degrees. So what is her temperature now? Well, that one's kind of easy. Her temperature now is 97 degrees. So she should start to be feeling better, huh? All right, so take the time you need to get this, pause this video. Like I said, this will be in Google Classroom next week once I get it uploaded. But there you go. That's all of this one. So take what you need and then come back to the next one. See you in a minute. Bye.